year, we were thinking about, coming up to the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement. And suppose we've been, having a lot of conversations with young people through our Peace Youth Summits, which have been amazing and brilliant and inspiring and thoughtful, and I think young people have a lot to say about this place and where we live and how we live in it. But suppose I was just keen to reflect with Corey and Ryan here in terms of my journey in the organisation and peace building, and what that suppose means to me and what it means to Corey and Ryan. Suppose I started in Youth Action primarily and applied for the job because it was a secular organisation, and that was in the mid-80s, and for me, suppose that was really important, and I felt the need for a secular organisation at that time. In Lisburn, I was inspired by ecumenical ministers who felt that we all should be working together, and inspired by things like, I was supposed to talk about being a woman of faith and stories like the Good Samaritan in the Bible, and the whole context of that was about the Samaritans and the Jews, just hating each other, and both believing in the same God, but the message, suppose, of the story was that, it doesn't matter who we are, or, what our identity is, that we should be helping everybody, doesn't matter who they are, and looking after people. So that was, suppose, really important to me. As a youth worker and an educator, it's always been about getting young people together to listen, to learn, to understand, to plan, to work together, to do things, to realise that we can build peace and the possibilities of peace. And I know, Corey, in conversations with yourself, that is something that you feel really strongly about, in terms of where you come from and I suppose what peace building means to you.
Yeah. Because whenever we talk about peace building, sometimes I can only think about what our young people are actually saying and not what we have always talked about. Whenever we did the show Somewhere Only We Know last year, all the young people talked about was the issues that mattered to them, and we're always talking about sectarianism, but for our young people, it's literally at the bottom of their priority list. They want to talk about schools and education and LGBTQI issues. There's things that are so much more important to them now. And what they also talked about in Somewhere Only We Know was feeling like they were being handed an identity from their parents. Here's sectarianism, this is what you have to care about, whenever they really didn't. And they do say that it's not a priority, but even we see it in our young people that they still go, oh, what school did you go to, or what area are you from, to try and decipher what your identity is. So it's funny that they think, oh, we don't care about it, but they still are in the habits of trying to figure out somebody else's identity. And something that we've talked about before is something that's important to me in youth work, is getting opportunities for more mobility for our young people, because as somebody who went away for university, I was baffled when I went away and nobody cared that I was a Catholic from West Belfast. And that's why we would need more opportunities like that for our young people, so that they can go away from Belfast and just and get away and realise that they are so much more than just a Catholic or just a Protestant or from this area, that we're so much bigger than that, and there's so much more to us than the identity that we can feel like that we're handed down by our parents.